Right. I think we're live here. Happy Tuesday, loves. If this is your first time, happy Tuesday, loves. If this is your first time checking out my Facebook Live, thank you so much for checking it out. My name is Dani LeBerry. I'm a virtual licensed psychotherapist and a happiness transformation coach. So, 3 times a month, I usually have a Facebook Live on a different topic, and the theme for the month of December is sobriety and mental health. So, 2 weeks ago, I did a Facebook Live on holidays and depression. Last week, I did a Facebook Live on sobriety and the holidays, and tonight's Facebook Live is on holidays and anxiety. So, we're going to be talking about different ways to manage your anxiety around family, around others, and just during the holidays in general. So, let's jump right in. So, my first suggestion or tip is getting comfortable with saying no. Sometimes our anxiety comes from overcommitment. We tell people yes when we really mean no, and then we end up overcommitting ourselves, feeling resentful towards the end of it, getting anxious because we've now said yes to this person, yes to this person, yes to this person, yes to family members, yes to people, and when we're not really quite in a space maybe to visit people or visit others or spend time with others when really maybe we need to be by ourselves or hang out with ourselves. So if you find that you don't feel like spending time with other people, or you feel as though you notice that you tend to say yes when you mean no, that can bring on an extra anxiety that you don't need. So notice yourself getting comfortable. Notice yourself when you tend to say yes when you mean no and getting comfortable with saying no. My second tip is living in the present. So, if you've ever heard people talk about mindfulness or things like being mindful, that has to do with living in your present moment. If you're experiencing anxiety, notice where is it coming from. Notice if it's coming from your thoughts. Are you worrying about the future? Are you worrying about unknown? Are you dwelling on the past? Notice what's going on with your mind and your thoughts. Notice where you are. I like to give this example when I'm working with my clients. Pretend that you and I are sitting on the couch and we're watching a movie. We can both be sitting on the couch, and in the time that I'm sitting in the couch, I can experience happiness, frustration, joy, anger, sadness, excitement, all while just sitting on the couch, all because of what? Because of my thoughts. So notice how you could be sitting right here and so off in the future, worried about what's going to happen in the future. You could also be dwelling on the past. The past is not with us anymore. It's not right here, right now. So notice where your thoughts are, which leads me into my third point. Noticing your thoughts, noticing the narrative. So, not just noticing, are you dwelling on the past or are you worried about the future, but also pay attention to your thoughts in general. Notice if you can work on going from negative to neutral. And why I say that is because sometimes people will tell me, Dani, affirmations, they don't work. I don't like using them. They just don't work for me. That's because a lot of times people are trying to go from negative to positive. Think about a time that you were feeling really, really negative about something. If I came to you and I said, just be positive, just be happy, be grateful, be positive, you'd probably want to smack me in the face. So I tell a lot of my clients, instead of trying to go from negative to positive in a place that's not authentic, in a place that feels like we're being fake with ourselves, just focus on going from negative to neutral. Neutral is to a space of, that's I can work with this. This is okay. So just noticing your thoughts and shifting it in such a way where you're using affirmations that are neutral. So in case you're thinking, okay, well, Dani, what does that look like? So instead of maybe me going from negative to everything is great, everything is wonderful, right? That feels fake. So instead of going from negative to positive, going from negative to neutral is going to look like, say I'm stressed out about something. We've always figured this out. I've always figured this out. We've survived 100% of our worst days. We're going to get through this. things like that, things that feel like I could believe that. That's more realistic instead of going from negative to positive. So even if you just focus on going from negative to neutral, that can reduce the anxiety significantly. My next one, third one, focus as much as possible on the things that you already have or things that you have that you remember you once wanted. Sometimes our anxiety comes from things that we're just so wishing we had. We're wishing that we were in a place that we aren't quite yet, or again, thinking about the future or thinking about another moment in time. And if we just shift our focus onto the things that we currently have and or the things that we have that we remember at one point we wanted that we didn't used to have. So when you have that focus, it reduces the anxiety. So we have feel okay with saying no, living in the present moment. Notice, are you worrying about the future? Or are you dwelling in the past? Pay attention to your thoughts, your narrative. What is it that you're telling yourself about the situation in front of you? Focus as much as possible on the things you have. Having, not to sound cliche, but having an attitude of gratitude. And my last tip, deep breathing. Now, I know this might sound a little silly and kind of simple, but I can't emphasize enough the power of deep breathing. I have two little sub points under the deep breathing. We have two different styles of deep breathing. I want you to pay attention when you are breathing. Are you breathing from your chest or are you breathing from your diaphragm? You want to make sure when you're taking a slow, deep breath in through your nose that you're breathing from your diaphragm and not from your chest. Because if you're breathing from your chest, you're going to cause the anxiety to get worse through shallow breathing. So how do I know, Dani, if I'm breathing from my diaphragm? How am I supposed to know? If you put your hands on your chest and you put your hands on your diaphragm, which is about the area of your sternum, just above your belly button, and when you breathe in, notice which of your two hands is going up from your breathing in. Is it your hand that's above your chest or is it your hand above your diaphragm? You want this hand that's above your diaphragm to be going up and down, not so much your chest. So that's how you know you're taking a deep breath, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. So that's one tip. My second suggestion for deep breathing is progressive muscle relaxation. So what that means is when you're breathing in, curl your toes, squeeze your toes as you're breathing in, and then as you exhale, release your toes. Same thing with your calves and your thighs. When you breathe in, tighten your legs. Your feet are going like so, pointing to the sky, flexing your legs so that you squeeze your calves and you squeeze your thighs as you breathe in and exhale and release. Same thing with your shoulders, same thing with your hands, same thing with your face. Tensing your muscles as you breathe in, and then as you exhale, release. And what this does is it helps release the tension that your body stores, which usually we store when we experience anxiety. So for example, an alarm is going off in my brain. Dani's not safe. Dani's not safe. That's where the anxiety comes in. Panic sometimes. We feel a little bit of a panic attack. Tightness in our chest, tightness in our throat. So when you notice these things, that can be a mild panic attack or bouts of anxiety. So this progressive muscle relaxation, tensing up your muscles, breathing in, exhaling and releasing, is helping your muscles to tighten and then using your breath to release the tension that your body has stored from the anxiety. So we've got a lot of meat and potatoes tonight. So we have feel okay saying no, living in the present moment. Notice if you're worrying about the future or if you're dwelling about the past. Pay attention to your thoughts, to the narrative that you're telling yourself about the situation that's in front of you. Focus as much as possible on the things that you have, having gratitude. And my last one is deep breathing techniques, which looks like deep, right? Deep versus shallow. So breathing from your diaphragm, not your chest. And the progressive muscle relaxation, tensing up your muscles as you breathe in and releasing the tension in your muscles as you breathe out. If anything was helpful for you, please feel free to share this video if you feel that it may help someone else. If anything came up for you during this video, or if you have any questions, feel free to email me. My email is Dani, Dani, at DaniLaberry.com. Thank you so much. This is not my last Facebook Live. Now that I'm thinking about it, this is my last Facebook Live for the month by myself. I do have a Facebook Live next week with Maggie Doñez, so please tune in. It's going to be next Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're actually going to be talking. I'll be posting about it tomorrow, so stay tuned. I want to surprise you. So take care of yourselves. Have a great night, and I will see you next week on the next Facebook Live.